is pumping through my veins. Got my notepad in front of me, and that could only mean that it's Saturday. You know what that means. We're live! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known. Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. This is the official Lightning Flash update. Oh yeah. For Saturday, June 12th, 2021. How are you today, my fine ladies and gents? We got Dee in the chat. We got Wild Bear. We got Peanuts. Man, small crowd today. A rather small crowd today. I don't know what's going on over there, but I think, I'm telling you, I think that we can boost the numbers here in the crowd. So here's what I want y'all to do. I want y'all, of course, y'all need to share that stream out. Y'all need to share that stream out. And, you know, y'all need to hit that like button when you come on in, baby. You already know the drill. You already know the drill. I want everyone to make sure that my connection is good. Make sure that my mic is on. Hopefully, we got a nice, smooth stream. Thank you very much, Danielle, for sharing. Let me go check. Let me go check. I'm going to Danielle's Twitter sticks. Ooh, she has shared. She has shared. Good. If you guys haven't already done so, be sure you share, people. Share and hit the like. What? We only got 3 likes, man. Small crowd. It's like everyone just decided to take a vacation. What's going on? We need a lot more people in here, all right? I have a feeling we'll be getting some more people in here as time goes on, but come on, there we go. Dylan Catchum, how you doing, brother? Dylan Catchum's in the chat. He just hit that like button. I greatly appreciate you. So, we have a lot of material to dissect, and I'm telling you, we do have a lot of material, including, we got, supposedly the draft's coming back, as you can see. Eva Marie's getting a bodyguard. There's no plans for Big E, which is quite pathetic if you ask me. Triple H, we're actually going to dissect some of the shit that Triple H said in his NXT media conference call. And I'm telling you, he's becoming Vince McMahon more and more every single day. And again, I really like to hope that he's just saying that shit because he needs to say it. But I'm genuinely concerned that he's starting to buy into this diluted mentality of the WWE. And when you work there for so many years, of course you become diluted. But we got a lot of shit. Here we go, Ruben Day. Ruben, how you doing, brother? You already know the drill. You know to hit that like button. Hit me up with all those likes. We got a lot of shit to get into here on the Lightning Flash update. But obviously, first things first, we got to get through some self-brand promotion and some advertisements. So, first things first, if you haven't already done so, be sure to follow me on the Twitter sticks. That's right, the Twitter sticks. Of course, my Twitter is HistoryMakerDJS. You will find out why I am the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram as well. Follow me on Instagram as well at the DJ Storms for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links are in the description. Of course, if you guys haven't already done so, please go check out the rundown for NXT TakeOver In Your House 2021, where my man Joseph Conlin, the creator of Big Fight Feel YouTube channel, he made his return. He made his return to the DJ Storms channel and the DJ Storms brand. That link is in the description. We dissected everything going down on NXT TakeOver In Your House, which of course is tomorrow. Tomorrow at 7, that's right, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Be sure to go and check that out. If you missed it, link is in the description. We are about 6 minutes into the stream. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. We need more likes. Why is it that I only see 5 likes? You see, that's a problem. That's a problem. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but when there's only 5 likes, like, that's not good. I mean, come on, people. That ain't good at all. That ain't good at all. I need more likes here, all right? We need more likes on the stream. So if anyone's watching right now, for the people that are watching right now, I need y'all to hit the like button. There you go. Now we got 6 likes, but I'm going to need you guys to keep on hitting that like button. When you come in, hit the like button. It is vital that you do. We got goals that we want to reach here on the DJ Storms brand. Ruben, my God, I have missed you, Ruben. I see you lighting up the chat room. You already know I'm the most awesome guy on YouTube. You already know the drill, but please make sure you hit that like button when you come on in. And of course, be sure to share out the stream. Share out the stream on all platforms of social media. I'm talking about Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and Tumblr, and Facebook. Any type of social media platform that you use, you got to make sure to share out those streams. There you go. We got David Maniscalco in the building. Earl Cole's in the building. We're getting more likes as we go along. That's what I like to see. That's what I'm talking about. And my blood is pumping through my body, and I love it when I see those likes. It gives me power. So, be sure to share out the stream on all platforms of social media, and we can get everyone in here. We want to get as many people in here as possible. I'm talking about your mothers, your fathers, your sons, your daughters, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your grandmothers, your grandfathers, your 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th cousins twice removed, your dogs, your cats, and especially your guinea pigs. Because, man, I'm telling you, I have so many damn articles lodged in my life. My computer is running slow as we speak. I have got so many articles lodged in my laptop stating that if guinea pigs are exposed to DJ Storms, I'm telling you right now, the guinea pigs are going to live long, happy, healthy, and fruitful lives. So if you guys have guinea pigs and you want, that's right, you want those guinea pigs to be with you forever, give them a daily dose of DJ Storms. You already know the drill. Hit the subscribe button as well when you come in. And, of course, hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube. It's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination. This beautiful mustache right here. Give me one second. Earl Cole, it's your favorite feature of the DJ Storms brand. It's the magic comb and the little and a little bit of Everybody wants a piece of the Storms Meister. You already know the drill. Yeah, my allergies are killing me again. 9 likes so far. That's what I like to see. Excuse me. Keep on sharing that stream out. We got to get some more people in here. 9 likes ain't enough, people. We want to get 1 million likes. No, I'm just kidding. We want to get at least 30, I would say, but 1 million would be nice, but I'll go with 30 for now. So please, 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 make sure you share out the stream and get some more people. Look at that! 10 likes already! That's what I love to see. I love it! 10 likes already. We got a lot of shit to go over, I'm telling you. Oh, and trust me, there's going to be a lot of ranting going on. I know y'all want to hear me rant about what happened on Monday Night Raw with Shayna Baszler. I know you want to hear me rant on the company trying to bring back Aleister Black. I know. A lot of people want to hear me rant about a lot of shit. Trust me, it's coming, people. Trust me, it's coming. I'm going to be ranting about a lot of shit today. And I'm going to entertain y'all with the best rants in the IWC biz. So, without further ado, what do you say we get right into the news, rumors, and reports? I will check the chat after I'm done with the news, rumors, and reports. We got some shit to go over. Let's start off with one report that was pretty much confirmed. Yesterday on SmackDown. It was a report from Dave Meltzer. He reported earlier on in the week that the current plan is for Roman Reigns to defend the Universal Championship against Rey Mysterio at Hell in a Cell on June 20th. Of course, we saw Rey Mysterio challenge Mr. Reigns to a match at Hell in a Cell for the Universal Championship. Here's something that I want to point out. A feud between Rey and Reigns. I'm not against that. I don't think anyone's against that whatsoever. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that they've been rushing through this feud and this program. They just started feuding last week, and already we're about to have a Universal Championship opportunity, and Reigns, he's just going to give it to Rey, and Rey's done nothing. I really don't understand. I really don't understand why you're just throwing Roman Reigns out there and having him defend the Universal Championship at Hell in a Cell for no fucking reason whatsoever. Think about this for a minute. This is a program that could extend for a few months. You could start the program with the Usos taking the titles off of the Mysterios, and then you could start the program going into the fall. I don't understand why you're running through all of these challengers for Roman Reigns now. Take your fucking time with it. If it was up to me, I wouldn't even have Roman Reigns defend the Universal title at Hell in a Cell. Hell, Roman Reigns didn't need to defend the Universal title back at Backlash. You rushed through the Cesaro program when you could have built up that storyline a little further. I really don't understand why WWE is just rushing through all of these programs. And Roman Reigns is still the best thing on WWE main roster television, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the fucking day, it doesn't change the fact that rushing through the programs is still prominent, and it's not helping Roman Reigns at all. You're running through all of these challengers to a point where you're going to have no choice but to move over a shit ton of challengers from Monday Night Raw to SmackDown. On top of that, we don't even have an idea of who's going to take that title off of Roman Reigns. At this rate, Roman Reigns could very well end up holding that title through WrestleMania 38. Meanwhile, you should be building up Keith Lee in the long run to take that title off of Mr. Reigns, but you're not, for whatever fucking reason. I don't fucking get it. It's very, very confusing to me as to why you would just throw Rey Mysterio out there when you could actually build this program up going into the fall of 2021 after SummerSlam. Why not just do Jimmy versus Jey Uso inside Hell in a Cell, have Jimmy win, and then Jimmy can be built up to face Roman at Money in the Bank before Roman eventually gets to Cena at SummerSlam? I don't get it. Stop throwing these challengers out there for Roman Reigns just to get him on a fucking pay-per-view. Roman does not need to be on every single fucking show, every single fucking pay-per-view. You're putting all your eggs in one basket and you're just thrusting Roman Reigns out there, and you're neglecting everything else. You're neglecting everything just to get Roman Reigns through another pay-per-view. Everything that's been put into Roman Reigns has been taken away from everyone else around him. If WWE put as much effort into everything else as they did Roman, the entire show would flow and come off a lot better. And not many people would be fucking complaining. The IWC wouldn't be revolting after what happened on Monday in the main event segment on Raw with Shayna Baszler and Alexa Bliss, which again, I will rant about later on. I don't really understand why this match needs to take place. It doesn't need to take place at all. They should be saving Rey Mysterio for after SummerSlam. Moving on, Andrew Zarian. He's been in the news a lot as of lately, Mr. Andrew Zarian of Mat Men Podcast. He tweeted out a little special tweet on Monday morning, and it has not been confirmed by the WWE yet, but apparently the WWE draft is coming back. Andrew Zarian tweeted out on Monday morning, and I quote, "Hearing the WWE draft is scheduled for 8/30 and 9/3, aka August 30th and September 3rd. End quote. I really don't understand why the draft is coming back. I don't even understand why the brand split is still a thing. When WWE was at their what's the word that I'm looking for? When WWE was in a period where they were just oversaturated with talent back in 2016, that period of WWE, there was so much talent in WWE that I couldn't even fucking keep track. Pac was still there, the Vaudevillains were still there, Rusev was there, plenty of more, Enzo and Cass were still there, plenty of fucking people were still there. Gallows and Anderson were still there. AJ Styles and John Cena had that great feud going on. Bray Wyatt still had the Eater of Worlds gimmick. Dolph Ziggler wasn't fucking buried. The Miz was actually watchable. Kalisto was still there. Baron Corbin had the Lone Wolf gimmick. Ty Dillinger was there. Back in 2016, SmackDown was in a position in which, not even SmackDown, Raw as well, the WWE in general was in a position in 2016 where they were just oversaturated with talent to a point where a brand split was necessary. And then they brought back the brand split, and for about 7 to 8 months, SmackDown actually utilized the brand split to their fullest. Jericho was there too. Braun Strowman was really coming along. They utilized the brand split to their fullest. SmackDown became a show that was looked at as better than NXT was at the time, and that's saying something. SmackDown was putting on must-see television back in 2016, early 2017. SmackDown utilized the brand split to their fullest. And then what happened? Then Jinder Mahal became WWE champion, and Vince elected to kill SmackDown and make SmackDown just as bad, if not worse, than Raw was at that time. And then WWE didn't even bother to utilize the brand split. After that period, when SmackDown was at its peak, they didn't even bother to utilize the brand split, and the shows were just as worse as they were before the brand split. WWE did not use the brand split to create any new stars whatsoever. There's only 2 new stars that I can honestly tell you in the last 5 years of this modern day brand split. 2 stars that have been created because of the brand split. Number 1 is AJ Styles, and number 2 is Drew McIntyre. Outside of that, I can't name you a single fucking star that was created with this brand split. Everyone else feels the same. Everyone else feels lackluster. Everyone else feels like they're just there. They don't feel like a must-see act. And then last year, WWE went on this releasing spree. Over the last 14 months, WWE has released so much talent to a point where their rosters have become depleted. And the brand split is completely unnecessary. It's a liability. There was a tweet going around. I can't remember who it was from. I can't remember when I saw it, but I remember a tweet. It was from a main Twitter account, a prominent Twitter account in the IWC. I can't remember what it was, but I remember this tweet not too long ago. It read, "There's only 22 active male competitors on SmackDown and 7 active female competitors." Think about that. SmackDown, your second biggest show, and the show that's making you the most money with this Fox deal. A show that's making you the most money with this Fox deal doesn't even have 30 roster members. That is fucking pathetic. How do you expect to have a brand split when your rosters do not actually look like fucking rosters? I don't understand. What's the point of a brand split anymore if your rosters are as depleted as they are? How many fucking times have we seen Nakamura and Baron Corbin compete on SmackDown within the last month? How many times have we seen Asuka and Charlotte in the ring together in the last month? How many times? How many times have we seen the same fucking matches week in and week out? It is fucking tiresome. Just combine the rosters. You're literally left with no choice. WWE has released so much talent to a point where they have no choice but to combine the rosters. Now, I understand that the creative is still the same. It's really not going to matter if we have a brand split or not. I understand the creative is still going to be the same, but at least we wouldn't be getting the same matches every week. At least there would be no excuse for WWE to do the same matches each and every single week. Think about a roster if it's combined. You can still keep the Universal and the WWE Championship. You can keep both world titles. You can keep both mid-card titles. But you can combine the tag team division and the women's division. Think about a women's division with Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Sasha, Bayley, Bianca, Carmella, Liv Morgan, Naomi, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville when she comes back. Think about a tag team division. You got the Viking Raiders, you got the New Day, you got RK Bro, you got Lucha House Party, you got Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, you got the Street Profits, you got the Usos, you got Otis and Gable, you got the Mysterios. It's a damn good tag team and women's division right there. If you combine the rosters, you actually have variety to work with, and there would be no excuse as to why we're seeing the same fucking people on television every single week. WWE would have variety to work with. The brand split right now, as we speak, is a liability. After all the talent that WWE has released, their rosters have become so fucking depleted. There is no roster on SmackDown Live. Not even 30 people. Not even 30 fucking people. How do you expect to call that a roster? The brand split is not necessary anymore. It's time for you to combine the rosters and start working with combined rosters again, because after all the talent that you have released, you have absolutely no choice. Combining the rosters is the first step in order to improve the shows and the company as a whole. Oh, God, don't even get me fucking started on this next report. WrestleVotes tweeted out an update on Eva Marie. Eva Marie. They tweeted out an update on Eva Marie and the plans for her going forward. The tweet read, and I quote, hearing the plans for Eva Marie's return include her having a muscle of some sorts by her side. The two names I've heard most discussed to pair with her are Mercedes Martinez or NXT UK star Piper Niven. End quote. So let me get this straight. So, not only are you going to completely spit in the face of everything that Sasha Banks and Bayley and Ember Moon and Asuka and Bianca, not only are you going to spit in the face to everything those women did in order to make women's wrestling a must-see act on these shows, but now you're going to take an individual from NXT and you're going to put them in the shadow of a woman who can't fucking wrestle herself out of a plastic bag? Are you fucking serious? You're gonna take Mercedes Martinez, a woman who could be compared to Shayna Baszler in terms of look and in terms of character, and you're gonna take her from NXT and make her the bodyguard of a woman who can't even run the ropes correctly. And then you got Piper Niven. Piper Niven is a very good professional wrestler. Instead of putting Mercedes Martinez and Piper Niven on the roster in singles capacities and giving them the opportunity to showcase to us what they can really do and showcase to us how good they are, they could both be solid hands in the women's division. But instead, you're going to pair them with Eva Marie. More and more that this goes on, I am telling you right now, the more and more that this goes on, I am expecting the absolute worst. Eva Marie is absolutely going to be competing. She is absolutely going to be wrestling. All these reports that saying, oh, no, she's going to be a manager, she's going to be a valet, she's not going to be a wrestler. Bullshit. Bullshit. She is absolutely wrestling. The worst, in the words of Chris Jericho, the worst is yet to come. I'm telling you right now, Eva Marie is going to win the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match and cash in on Charlotte Flair after she beats Rhea, or Rhea is somehow miraculously going to make it past Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley's going to go into a feud with Eva Marie at either Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. Matter of fact, I expect Eva Marie versus Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, and you know why? You know why? Because they got Nikki Cross being built up to face whoever the Raw Women's Champion is after Hell in a Cell. I can see Rhea versus Nikki Cross at Money in the Bank, and then Eva Marie versus Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. You're taking one of these two women who could easily be solid hands on the main roster. Piper Niven, a very good pro wrestler. She put on excellent matches with Toni Storm and Kaylee Ray, Ginny, Rhea Ripley. Piper Niven is a great pro wrestler. Piper Niven is a great babyface. Mercedes Martinez, she's a badass. She's great at what she put on a very, very, very good triple threat match with Toni Storm and Io Shirai not that long ago. So you're telling me that you're going to take these women and you're going to put them in the shadow of Eva fucking Marie? I'm telling you, I hope that this company sees the lowest ratings on both of their shows. SmackDown's even dipped under 2 million. And you know why? Because more and more people are starting to realize that Roman Reigns is the only good thing about the show. Why am I going to watch the show if there's only one good thing about it? And then people want to say, oh no, everybody else on SmackDown's entertaining. Everybody else on SmackDown's very entertaining. Really? Everyone on SmackDown's entertaining? Rollins is as generic as they come. There is nothing special about Seth Rollins. There's nothing intriguing about Seth Rollins. Bayley's been booked like a fucking nerd. Then you got Bianca Belair, who's been booked into oblivion as champion. She's been made into a smiley, generic, cringe babyface. Then you got fucking Otis and Gable, who have been going back and forth with the Mysterios and the Street Profits. Then you got Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, they're good, but they're not draws. No one's going out of their way and saying, oh my God, I can't wait to watch SmackDown for the Mysterios. Then you got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens doesn't feel special. Sami Zayn is a glorified enhancement talent. Big E doesn't feel special. The only individual on SmackDown that's been booked semi-decently outside of Roman is Apollo Crews. And even then, he's not even that special. So for anyone that wants to say, oh, well, the people on SmackDown are very entertaining. No, they're not entertaining. Roman is the only good thing about SmackDown. But back to what I was saying. Eva Marie getting a bodyguard. I don't know who the fuck Mercedes Martinez pissed off, but she campaigned to be removed from Retribution, and now she's going to be brought back to the main roster as a bodyguard for Eva Marie? What did this woman do to you? And Piper Niven, same thing. Moving on. Speaking of Big E, I mentioned Big E. Ringside News reported that Big E, who was not on SmackDown last week, he was on SmackDown this week again. They currently have no creative plans in store for him following the release of Aleister Black. And let me tell you something. This doesn't surprise me whatsoever. This doesn't surprise me whatsoever. And you know why? It's because this is what WWE does. This is what WWE does. They don't have plans for Big E. They don't have plans for Monday Night Raw. And Monday Night Raw is two days away. They don't know what they're going to do for Monday Night Raw. And they haven't even... They're just 2 days away from Monday Night Raw. They don't even know what they're going to do for Monday Night Raw. So it doesn't surprise me that they don't have plans for Big E. This company don't have plans. This company never has plans for anything. If you hear Stephanie McMahon say, oh yeah, we planned 6 months in advance, bullshit. Vince rips up the script every single Monday before the show. So it don't surprise me that they don't have plans for Big E. I guarantee you that they're just going to put Big E in a bunch of matches with Apollo Crews and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they're going to say, you know what, we're just going to buy Big E's time. Oh, wait a second, we got a pay-per-view coming up in July. What is it? Oh, it's Money in the Bank. Who do we have that we can place in the Money in the Bank ladder match? Oh, let's put Big E in there. Let's put Big E in the Money in the Bank ladder match. That's exactly what they're going to do. Same thing with Damian Priest. Damian Priest hasn't been seen on Monday Night Raw in nearly 4 weeks. Oh, who are we going to put in the Money in the Bank ladder match? Oh, Damian Priest. We haven't used Damian Priest in a while. It's fucking pathetic how Damian Priest, you can't find anything for fucking Damian Priest other than feuding with Miz and Morrison. Hey, ho, ho, hop, hop, hee, hoo, hoo. Doesn't surprise me whatsoever that Big E does not have any plans following the release of Aleister Black. Speaking of Aleister Black, get this. Speaking of Aleister Black, according to PW Insider, there are multiple people within WWE that are pushing for Aleister Black to be brought back to the company. I can name you 3 people that are currently doing that. Number 1, Triple H. Number 2, Paul Heyman. Number 3, Zelina Vega, because Zelina Vega, she recently just got rehired. She was at the PC. Plus, Aleister Black on his Twitch stream was being Mr. Nice Guy, and we all know why that is. Aleister Black was being Mr. Nice Guy on his Twitch stream, not because he actually feels that way. I'll tell you why Aleister Black was being all nice on his Twitch stream. It's because his wife rehired with the company. His wife rehired with the company, and Aleister Black, he clearly isn't stupid. He saw what the WWE did to Lana after Miro went on AEW and bashed the WWE. Lana went through a table for 2 straight months at the hands of Nia Jax. Aleister Black is smarter than that. He had to keep it professional because if he didn't, and he really bashed the WWE and told them how he really felt about them and how they treated him like shit, then his wife, Zelina Vega, would be brought back to television, and she would be the one going through a table every single week by Nia Jax. I'm currently waiting on Charlotte to go through a table every single week for 2 straight months. I cannot wait to hear that interview with Andrade El Idolo next week on Dynamite. I can't wait to hear that because I want to hear what Andrade has to say, because if he says something something out of line, WWE's going to take note of that, and they're going to take their anger out on Charlotte. I guarantee you. I wouldn't even go back to the company if I was Aleister Black, because at the end of the day, yeah, it's great that your wife's campaigning for you. It's great that Paul Heyman is campaigning for you. It's great that Triple H is campaigning for you, but none of them are Vince McMahon, are they? And you really think that Vince McMahon is going to change his mind the second time around? Vince McMahon did not see jack shit in Aleister Black because he's an out-of-touch old bastard. Vince McMahon, the only reason why Vince would even entertain the idea of bringing Aleister Black back to the company is so that he doesn't go to AEW as Tommy End and steal the fucking show with Kenny Omega in a world title match. That's the only reason as to why they won't allow Tommy End to go back and go do whatever he's doing on the independent scene. They're not going to allow Tommy End, aka Aleister Black, to go back to his roots. It's the only reason as to why they would rehire him back. It's because of AEW. And even then, I would tell them to go fuck themselves. I would tell them to go fuck themselves. They never treated him well the first time around. Everyone's always looking for, oh, can we get a second chance? Can we get a second chance? Get it right the first time. Get it right the first time. Moving on, Andrew Zarian again. Andrew Zarian's been in the news a lot. Andrew Zarian of Mat Men Podcast went on to say how Brock Lesnar will be returning soon, but it is not likely he'll be returning for SummerSlam. You know, there was a part of me that wanted to believe that, but Bayley was in a Ding Dong Hello segment on SmackDown, and there was a technical botch. Where the tech team must have pressed the wrong button and a little graphic came up that said WWE Champion Brock Lesnar instead of Bayley. So, by that, it seems as though Bobby Lashley and his WWE Championship reign is pretty much fucked. It looks like we're getting Lashley versus Lesnar at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. And Brock Lesnar's winning the title. And I'm going to ask the question. I really don't understand why anyone would even entertain the idea of Lashley versus Lesnar with the title. Lashley versus Lesnar, you can say for WrestleMania of next year. SummerSlam, Lashley should go into the event with the WWE title and drop it to Finn Balor. That's the way to go about it. That's how you really create a new star. You don't just give it to Drew and then have Drew drop it to Balor, or put Lashley in there with Lesnar and have Lesnar win the title back, because in WWE's sick and twisted mind, they still think Brock Lesnar's a fucking draw. It's stupid. So I originally was going to believe this, but then I saw the graphic on SmackDown, and they fucking botched that they botched that epically on SmackDown. They botched that epically. Brock Lesnar, he looks like he's going to be coming back, and he's going to be winning the WWE title at SummerSlam, which I am not a fan of. I don't understand why anyone would be a fan of that. I don't understand why anyone would even advocate for Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley if he's just going to drop the WWE title to Brock Lesnar, and we're going to be right back in the same boat that we were before Drew McIntyre took the title off of Brock Lesnar. Unreal. Triple H. It's my final report, and then we're going to get into Monday Night Raw, and my oh my, do I got a lot of shit to say about Monday Night Raw. But first things first, Triple H. He recently had an NXT media conference call. He discussed numerous topics. One topic that included female talent. He stated, in my opinion, The best female performers in the world are in WWE, and if they are not, they want to be. End quote. Thunder Rosa subtweeted Triple H with a response stating, and I quote, "The best female wrestlers are not located in one company, not even in one country. They are spread over many companies and many countries. Talented women across the globe." End quote. Now, I have no problem with him saying, oh, in my opinion, the best female performers are in WWE. That's his opinion, and that's something that everyone's entitled to. I have no problem with him saying that. But he goes on to say, and if they're not, they want to be. Oh, do they? That's why Mercedes Martinez requested that she be removed from Retribution and put back down in NXT, right? That's why Ember Moon was sent back down to NXT. That's why female and male competitors have requested to stay in NXT, like Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. That's why Sasha Banks, she left for 4 months because she was depressed, right? She had a depressive state about something else, right? No, she was depressed because of the shit booking that she was subjected to. And the fact that they made her drop the women's tag team titles to the fucking Iconics! Best female performers want to be here. No, they fucking don't. Thunder Rosa, you wanted to train Thunder Rosa to be a referee. Meanwhile, she is probably one of the very few individuals in the world right now that could compete on the level of a Sasha Banks and a Bayley. But of course, you want to train Thunder Rosa as a referee because she wants to be with the WWE. You tried to train her to be a referee. Meanwhile, she put on perhaps the best women's match of the year with Britt Baker back at St. Patrick's Day Slam. Best female performers want to be in the WWE. Yeah, that's why every single female performer that has been called up to the main roster, minus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, every single female performer has been mistreated, disrespected, undervalued, mishandled, overlooked. That's why women like Ember Moon were shafted, and they weren't given a title opportunity until 17 months after their main roster run. That's why Ember Moon was shafted even though she got a title match. That's why Shayna Baszler, pinned by every single woman under the sun. That's why Rhea Ripley has been made to look like an afterthought compared to Charlotte Flair. That's why Bianca Belair has been made into a smiley, original, cringe babyface. Best female performers want to be there. No, they fucking don't. Name me one fucking person. I would love someone, name me one fucking person in the women's wrestling realm that's not signed by the WWE that wants to be in the WWE. Name me one. You can't, because nobody wants to go to the WWE. The only reason why anyone, male or female, would sign with the WWE is for a paycheck. There's even reports about WWE bringing Samoa Joe back to the PC. Now you can look at that as a positive and a negative. Samoa Joe being brought back to NXT would be good because it would give NXT a shot of adrenaline in the arm. And on top of that, we would see Karrion Kross in a feud where it would be believable for him to lose the title. Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross. Samoa Joe is a very believable individual to take the title off of Karrion Kross. For sure. You can look at it as a positive. But then once he's done with NXT and once he loses the NXT title, then where does he go? He was buried on the main roster. He was given a shaft. He was made into the male version of Shayna Baszler. He was pinned by every single person under the sun. Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio. Ricochet even pinned Samoa Joe to win the US title back at Stomping Grounds. So why the fuck would Samoa Joe even entertain the idea of going back to the WWE unless he's either A, NXT for life, or B, he spends the rest of his active wrestling career as a member of NXT and then transitions into a commentary role. He could do that, but outside of that, I don't understand why Samoa Joe would even entertain the idea of going back to WWE outside of the paycheck. Why would anyone entertain the idea of going to the WWE, male or female, unless you look like Karrion Kross or Charlotte Flair? Unless you got big tits, blonde hair, a small waist. Unless you're a male who's 6'5", 6'6", with big muscles, the build of Hulk Hogan, 260, 270 pounds, with biceps as big as my fucking head. I don't understand why anyone would even entertain the idea of going to the WWE. Vince McMahon's a fucking retard when it comes to booking talent. He always asks, what's the character? He was asked, what's the character? What's the character? You're focused on character first in the year 2021? This isn't the Attitude Era anymore. I don't understand why the fuck you're focused on what the character is. Meanwhile, you should be focusing on how good they can wrestle. It's wrestling first and then character second. Them's the facts. You take a look at Will Hobbs. Everyone was asking when Will Hobbs was brought to AEW, okay, can he wrestle? And then when we found out that he can wrestle, then we were going, okay, what's his character? Wrestling first, character second. This isn't the Attitude Era where you can get by with a great character and mediocre in-ring skills. The only fucking way that you can get by with character over wrestling ability is if you have a character similar to Maxwell Jacob Friedman. MJF, we all know that he can wrestle. He's put on great matches with the likes of Cody, Jungle Boy, Moxley, Chris Jericho, but if he wasn't able to wrestle, that would be fine for him because he could easily get by without wrestling. He could easily get by with being a mediocre in-ring competitor. He could easily get by with being a mediocre in-ring competitor because he's that good of a heel. He has that good of a character. You never see that. I can only name you about 2 or 3 people that have a character that supersedes their wrestling ability. Roman Reigns, MJF, and that's about it. That's it. Maybe Britt Baker. Three individuals in the modern day wrestling era that have a character that supersedes their wrestling ability. That's it. Outside of that, you need to know how to fucking wrestle. Wrestling over character in the modern era. And whether you like it or not, that is the truth. And if you don't like it, whether you agree or disagree with me, I'm right, you're wrong. You don't like it, you can go choke on a pair of elephant testicles, for all I care. I got sidetracked. Where was I? So Triple H, there you go. Triple H. He continued on with this conference call. He was asked by the Wrestling Observer about the frustration about NXT talent being misused when called up to the main roster. Triple H went on to compare it to college football players being drafted and how they just don't work out in the NFL. And then he also responds with this, and I quote, "How about watch it? Do you like it or do you not like it? Do you have to say, I like it, but I like this other thing more? Just watch it or don't." End quote. I want you to sit on that before I rip Papa H a new asshole. First off, how the fuck can you compare the NFL to the WWE or pro wrestling in general? How? I understand, listen, there is a similarity between them. They're both competitive sports. But what's the one glaring difference between the NFL and pro wrestling? Pro wrestling is scripted. Pro wrestling is predetermined. Pro wrestling involves a group of creative writers behind the scenes that book the storylines, the characters, produce the matches. The NFL is not scripted. The NFL is not predetermined. The NFL doesn't have a group of creative writers behind the scene telling the players what to do, telling the players, okay, this guy's going to tackle that guy's going to tackle this guy's going to score a touchdown, that guy's going to block a touchdown, this guy's going to prevent a field goal, that guy's going to score a field goal. There's no creative writers telling the football players what to do and writing out scripts for the football players. How the fuck can you compare that? There's no fucking difference between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT except for one thing. And this goes to show you how fucking stupid Triple H has become. And listen, I want to believe, I really do, I want to believe that this is Triple H just saying what he needs to say because Vince McMahon is watching him like a hawk. But with the way that NXT has become and how lazy their shows have been produced as of lately and how lackluster and really just flat and how flat their shows have been, it's making me believe that this is Triple H really believing what he's saying because you can see the drop in quality in NXT. NXT has become affiliated with this laziness main roster mentality. Oh, we're making all this money from Peacock and Saudi Arabia and Raw's USA Network deal and the Fox deal. We don't need to put any effort into our shows. That laziness mentality is starting to seep into NXT. There is but one difference between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. All of those shows are under the WWE banner. All of those shows are owned by Vince McMahon. All of those shows involve pro wrestling. All of those shows involve unique characters, or at least NXT has unique characters. Everything's the same about Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. The only thing that's different between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT is the creative writing. That's the difference. So anyone that wants to try and defend Triple H, and you know that there's fucking retards that want to defend Triple H and say, oh yeah, he's right. No, he's not right. He's not fucking right. He's coming off like a fucking dumbass. He's not right. You can't compare the NFL and pro wrestling. One's scripted and one's not. And on top of that, the difference between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT is because the creative writing on Raw and SmackDown is jack shit. It's no coincidence that Roman Reigns is the best thing on Raw and SmackDown combined, and Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman are the ones that are in control. Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon, they have no creative control over it whatsoever. They haven't gotten their hands on Roman Reigns yet. That's all Roman and Heyman. The creative writing on Raw and SmackDown sucks. And to anyone that wants to say, oh, you don't like it, you don't need to watch it, you can just watch something else, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Shove this, oh, don't like it, don't watch it. Shove that excuse right up your ass. Shove coal up your ass and have someone kick you so hard that you shit out diamonds. It is unbelievable. It's unbelievable how fucking dumb some of these individuals are. I guarantee you that some of these individuals that defend what Triple H said, these are the types of individuals that got their backpack lost on their back when they were in grammar school. That's how fucking dumb they are. The creative writing is the main difference between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Because the creative writing, aka Vince McMahon and White Castle Bruce Pritchard, with the keg belly, he doesn't fucking know how to book talent. They're so fucking out of touch, they got their head so far up their own ass that they brush their teeth with 2-ply toilet paper. There's no reason why Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Ember Moon, Shayna Baszler, and Angel Garza and Andrade, Buddy Murphy. There's no reason why all of these individuals should be failing on the main roster. 98% of NXT call-ups have failed. If it was more like, okay, so about 55% of the NXT call-ups succeed and about 45% of the NXT call-ups fail, if there was a closer percentage difference, not a large percentage difference, but if it was a smaller percentage difference between who fails and who succeeds, then I would understand that. But 98% of the NXT call-ups have fucking flopped. That's not a fucking coincidence. That's not, oh yeah, they didn't work out. No, that's not them not working out. That's the creative on the show sucking. And then he responds with, oh, fans ruined their own enjoyment of NXT. If you don't like it, oh, you just watch it or you don't. So what you're telling me is, yeah, we know that the show sucks. We know the show is not what it used to be, but we're not going to do anything about it because we don't care. We're getting paid all this money by Saudi Arabia and Peacock and USA and Fox, so we don't care. We don't give a shit. That's exactly what Triple H is saying. He's taking you, the fans, for a bunch of retards. It don't matter how low the ratings get. Nothing is going to change. We could have 10 people tune into Monday Night Raw, and that's not going to stop them. That's not going to stop them from not caring. The only way that this company is going to succeed is when Vince McMahon is out. And I'm not saying that Triple H is going to be the God and Savior of pro wrestling. I'm not saying that Triple H or Shane or whoever, I'm not saying that the individual that replaces Vince McMahon is going to be the end-all be-all to save us and save WWE. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we're going to get perfect shows, but Vince McMahon is the fucking problem. Vince and Bruce are the problem. I don't give a shit who takes over. I don't give a shit whether it's Shane or Stephanie or Triple H. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. You cannot sit there and tell me, you fucking can't sit there and tell me that, oh yeah, the company is only going to get worse when Vince McMahon's out of office. You can't sit there and tell me that. You can't sit there with a straight face and tell me that we wouldn't get better shows no matter who takes over WWE. Vince is the problem. Vince has always been the problem. I'm not saying that we're going to get a godly-like show when Triple H takes over, or if Triple H takes over, or if it's Shane, or if it's Stephanie, but we'll certainly get better shows than what we're getting now. That's all I want. And it's very, very hard for me not to sit there and actually believe that Triple H is actually saying what he feels. Those are your news, rumors, and reports. Those are your news, rumors, and reports. So here's what I want y'all to do. I want you guys to strap in because we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw next. House of Entertainment, how you doing? Earl Cole, thank you for sticking by. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Shane McMahon. Thank you, Adam, Carl, and Dee Dee. Thank you, Cool King, a.k.a. Mr. Rob Wells Jr. Thank you. Thank you, Kick Out. Thank you, Peanuts. Thank you, Brian King. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. We're at 24 likes. That is fucking fantastic, people. I'm sweating my balls off right now. Swear to God. But, man, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for sticking by me throughout that epic rant. And I'm not even done yet. Oh, trust me. We got Raw to talk about. And my, oh my, am I going to be ranting away on this shit. Strap in, people. We're talking about the worst show on the face of the planet. Monday Night Raw. Absolutely garbage. And strap in. I am going to rip, and I mean rip, that ending segment to shreds. So, we get a tag team #1 contenders battle royal. All the teams were in the ring. Styles and Omos came out. Styles ran down all the tag teams. Riddle and Randy had their little lip seal moment, which is probably the best thing about Monday Night Raw. Matt Riddle and Randy Orton are the best thing on Monday Night Raw, plain and simple. I knew that they were going to be. Question is, how long is this going to last? So Miz and Morrison, hey hey ho ho, hee hee ha ha hoo hoo, hey hey. Miz and Morrison, these two fucking clowns. Miz came out in a wheelchair. He said Miz said Morrison volunteered to compete. Riddle and Orton went on a tag team RKO barrage. Morrison then eliminated Dorado. Metalik was hurt, by the way, so Dorado went this solo. T-Bar and Mace, or T-Balls and Disgrace, eliminated John Morrison. We had double choke slams to the New Day, double choke slam to Riddle. Mace and T-Bar both got eliminated by the Field. We came down to the Viking Raiders, the New Day, and RK Bro. Woods eliminated Riddle. Eric eliminated Woods. Orton mounted a comeback. Kofi stomped Ivar onto Eric. That was a very nice spot. Riddle then saved Randy Orton from a trouble in paradise. Orton eliminated Kofi, and then Orton got eliminated by the Viking Raiders. Riddle taking the bullet for Randy Orton. Very nice touch. I actually like the relationship that's starting to build between Riddle and Randy Orton. It's actually very, very entertaining. Riddle and Orton are actually very entertaining television. Viking Raiders win. The Viking Raiders win. So it seems as though they're saving Riddle and Orton to win the titles at SummerSlam, which I don't mind. Now, I want to care about this match. I do. But to me, it seems like the Viking Raiders are just a pair of chew toys for AJ Styles and Omos to feast on. I really don't understand. So, if it was up to me, I would give the titles to the Viking Raiders. Why? Because I would give the Viking Raiders and RK Bro the tag team title match at SummerSlam, because that would clearly be the better match. And if you give those guys time, they could put on a match of the year candidate. Now, I don't advocate for short title reigns. I don't advocate for transitional champions. But at the end of the fucking day, Styles and Omos are fucking terrible. And at the end of the day, I would much rather see the Viking Raiders versus RK Bro, because that would be a better match. That would be a much better match. And on top of that, AJ Styles has looked horrible since coming over to Monday Night Raw. No shit, he's on Raw. Omos has done nothing but make AJ Styles look bad. We need to get Styles away from this irrelevant tag team division, this non-existent tag team division. We need to get Omos away from AJ Styles, and we need to get AJ Styles back to being AJ Styles. Put AJ Styles against Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, and have AJ Styles win, and have him go into a program with Finn Balor after SummerSlam. Jackson Ryker versus Elias. I took a shit during this match. Elias walked off. Ryker wins via countout. Who gives a fuck? Ryker's a babyface. Yeah, like that's gonna work out. Drew McIntyre. Jesus Christ, I took 4.5 pages of notes on this shit. Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. They had their contract signing. Lashley didn't come out. Drew mocked Lashley for his external charisma. He told an old Scottish story, and he said, if at first you don't succeed, beat Lashley's ass and regain the WWE Championship. Lashley and MVP then came out. Lashley then made an ultimatum to Drew by saying, if you lose, you won't get a shot at me ever again. Drew accepted, but on one condition. He says, I want Lashley versus McIntyre for the WWE Championship inside Hell in a Cell. MVP says, the Almighty accept your terms. Lashley says, in reality, you lose. And you tuck your kilt between your legs in shame. That's how the story is going to end. Drew then says, I'll see you in hell. Drew then took a sword and sliced the table in half. And that was it. Now, based on what they're trying to tell me here, it seems as though Drew McIntyre is going to win. Seems as though Drew McIntyre is going to win. Because when you do an ultimatum like, oh, if you lose, you'll never get a shot at this again. More likely than not, that means that, okay, it's never going to happen. I don't really know what you want me to say about that, but it is what it is. And I have a bad feeling that we're going to be getting McIntyre versus Lashley. Not Lashley, Lesnar, rather. McIntyre versus Lesnar at SummerSlam of this year. Great. So you pretty much spoiled the outcome of this match. Drew's going to win because what the fuck are they going to do afterwards? I don't know. Ricochet versus Humberto Carrillo. Winner earns a U.S. title opportunity. Sheamus came out wearing a face mask. He was going on and on about how this match is an injustice. Ricochet and Carrillo both teased diving onto Sheamus with the face mask. Coming back from commercial, Carrillo with a beautiful crossbody for a 2. This wasn't a bad match for what it was. Carrillo with a deadlift, one-arm, sit-out powerbomb. Very, very impressive for a 2. Carrillo with a tope suicida. Big missile dropkick for a 2. Carrillo missed the moonsault. And Ricochet hit a clothesline and a bridging German suplex for a 2. Both men were on the apron. Carrillo with a Spanish fly off the apron to the floor on Ricochet. It looked awesome. Ref counted both men out, and the match ended in a draw. Sheamus was laughing at them, and we're more likely than not going to get a triple threat match later on down the line, probably at the pay-per-view, which I won't really give a shit about. MVP approached Kofi Kingston. Now, this was actually pretty interesting. He talked about Kofi Mania. He talked about how you let it just end. Kofi goes, watch your mouth. I fight for my family and my friends. What does Lashley fight for? Money? MVP goes, no. Lashley fights for the WWE Championship. And then he left. We had another Eva Marie promo, and Evolution is coming to WWE next week. Great. So now we got to deal with all botch everything. We got to deal with Eva fucking Marie, this talentless fucking hack. And by the way, the Bella Twins are reportedly coming back. Great. So now we gotta deal with not only one, not only two, but 3 talentless hacks. The Bellas, and Eva Marie. Great. Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. They had another conversation in the back. Ali said, what are you going to do when Gulak cuts corners to win? Not everyone is going to play by the same rules as you. And then Ali just walked away. I don't really know what they're doing here, but I don't necessarily hate this. I actually think that this is a very, very, very good undercard storyline for both men, and I think that both men could put on a damn good match if given the opportunity. I want to care about them more, but it's WWE, and when has Vince McMahon ever done right by someone like a Mansoor or someone like a Mustafa Ali? Never. The answer is never. So, we had Jeff Hardy versus Cedric Alexander. So, Cedric kept the aggression on Jeff Hardy. Hardy with the Hurricane Rana. Russian leg sweep combo. tight pinning combo for a 2. Cedric then with the drop kick to the knee and a brainbuster for a 2. Hardy hit the twist of fate and a swanton bomb for the win. Decent little match right here, but you have Cedric go on a 2-match winning streak. He beat Shelton Benjamin twice. And then you have him lose to Jeff Hardy. How is anyone supposed to get over? How is anyone supposed to get over if you don't keep up the consistency? I really don't get it. How do you expect anyone to get over if you don't book them consistently? This is why all of this stop and start pushing and 50-50 booking, it's killing your roster. Actually, it's already killed your roster. Nikki Cross, great. I gotta see the main roster watered down, giddy version of Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross and Asuka versus Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Oh, great. Now we got to deal with, can the champion and challenger coexist? How many fucking times have we seen this bullshit? So Flair and Rhea Ripley, they obviously got into a brawl. And it led to Charlotte Flair hitting natural selection on Rhea Ripley, and Nikki Cross pinned the Raw Women's Champion. Why? They're pinning Nikki Cross because they have to. They're pushing Nikki Cross because they have to. Because there's nobody else. There's nobody else after the Hell in a Cell match between Rhea and Charlotte. Who else do they have in a singles capacity? They're going to push Nikki Cross, and Nikki Cross is merely going to be an interim opponent, and then she'll probably be released by the fall. Mansoor and Drew Gulak. Mansoor wins with a roll-up. I don't really give a shit. This is all leaning towards Mansoor versus Mustafa Ali. I actually hope we see a fairly decent match between the two. I think they could put on a damn good match. Riddle versus Kofi Kingston. Matt Riddle versus Kofi Kingston. This was a decent match. Orton actually came out midway through the match. Orton then dropped Woods on the announce table. Kofi hit a trust fall on RK Bro. We had Riddle with a big PK. Kofi with a little bit of a botched Hurricane Rana. Didn't really look too good. Riddle caught a mushroom stomp for a 2. We had a slingshot splash for 2. Kofi with a splash to the back of Riddle. Riddle still kicked out. Riddle then took a page out of Randy Orton's playbook and hit a draping DDT. Riddle then went for the RKO. Kofi dodged it. Bro Derek countered with Trouble in Paradise. And Kofi wins. And why are they pushing Kofi? Same reason why they're pushing Nikki Cross. Because they need another individual to fight for the WWE title at Money in the Bank before we eventually get to SummerSlam. It's either going to be Lashley versus Lesnar or McIntyre versus Lesnar. Kofi Kingston is going to be an interim opponent at Money in the Bank for whoever the WWE champion is, similar to Nikki Cross being an interim opponent for whoever the Raw Women's champion is at Money in the Bank. They need interim challengers before we eventually get to the main course at SummerSlam. Simple. Oh, shit. Alexa's Playground! Oh, you've been waiting. Everyone's been waiting. Strap in. Strap the fuck in. Alexa's Playground with Shayna Baszler. So Alexa was swinging back and forth on the swing with Lily. Hee hee. Welcome to Alexa's Playground. So Shayna Baszler made her way to the ring. She didn't even bother to allow Alexa to introduce her. Shayna then knocked over the rocking horse. She knocked over the rocking horse. And then she sat down in the swing, and Bliss said, "That wasn't very nice. You did some things that were a little naughty, but we'll give you a chance. All you gotta do is apologize to Lily." Shayna goes, You want me to apologize to a doll? See, you're the reason behind Reginald's accidents, and you're the very reason why me and Nia aren't tag team champions anymore. Bliss said, I think you should just apologize to Lily. Shayna then snatched Lily. She snatched Lily from her hand, Alexa's hand. Shayna then looked at Lily, dead in the face, and said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're just a stupid doll. Bliss then attacked Shayna Baszler, and Shayna was selling for Alexa Bliss. Oh, this is just the appetizer. We haven't even gotten into the good stuff yet. So Shayna threw Bliss out of the ring. Shayna then threw Lily down to the floor, and she stomped on Lily's head. Bliss then caused some technical issues. Shayna was then running up the ramp, and fire and pyro started coming up from the ramp. She then went backstage through Gorilla, and shit started falling. We had scaffolding and crates falling. Lights were going on and off and on and off. She was like trying to open all these doors, and the doors were locked. And then she went into a room where the door was unlocked. She then locked the door and barricaded herself into the room with couches. She then looked into a mirror, and there she saw Lily in the mirror. But then she looked behind her, and there was no doll. Lily wasn't there. Lily wasn't there at all. And then she looked back at the mirror, and Lily was there. But then she looked behind her, and Lily wasn't there. So then she starts freaking out. She kicks the fucking mirror. The mirror breaks. She's looking in the mirror, and she still sees Lily in the mirror. She still sees Lily in the mirror. And then the lights go out. The lights go out, and all you hear is Shayna Baszler scream. And then Raw goes off the air. That's the way the show went off the air. Just let that sink in. So let me get this straight. Shayna Baszler, one of the most dominant champions in NXT history. A woman who was as dominant as Asuka, as dominant as Adam Cole, as dominant as Walter. A woman who ran through everyone. A woman who has held the NXT Women's Championship longer than Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte, Rhea, Ember, Paige, Io Shirai, and Raquel Gonzalez. A woman who's held the NXT title longer than all of those women. The first ever two-time NXT Women's Champion. A woman who ran through everyone on the roster. A mixed martial artist, might I remind you, is running away scared. Going up and down, running through. Oh, God, it's not me. No. Running around like an idiot. Running around backstage backstage, going through hallways and closing the door and barricading yourself, running around scared from a doll, running around scared from a paper-mache doll that looks like it was made in arts and crafts class by a fucking 5-year-old. A woman who was taken from NXT, made into a glorified enhancement talent, now selling for one of the worst fucking wrestlers on the face of the fucking planet. I don't give a shit what you think. Alexa Bliss is fucking trash. Alexa Bliss is the epitome of everything that is wrong with women's wrestling. Shayna Baszler selling for one of the worst fucking women's wrestlers on the face of the fucking planet. And now running away from a paper-mache doll. A paper-mache fucking doll. What more can I say? That's all you need. I just want to end it right there. I'm telling you, I really can't do this shit anymore. I can't do this shit. This shit is taking 15, 20 years off my fucking life. This shit is taking 15, 20 years off my fucking life, day by day. I swear to God, next week I'm gonna have gray hairs growing out of my fucking beard. I'm telling you right now, I fucking dare WWE. I dare them to try this shit. When live fans come back, I dare them. I fucking dare them. You know why? Because if they do this shit with fans back in attendance, you remember what happened back at WrestleMania with The Fiend and Randy Orton? And how Randy Orton beat The Fiend, and then the Fiend vanished with Alexa Bliss after the lights came back on. You remember that shit? Fans were booing. And you know, you're gonna have fans, you're gonna have these fucking retards defend this shit. Oh, Shayna Baszler, she was in the main event segment of Monday Night Raw. And it was the highest rated segment. Fuck you! Go fuck yourself. Shove these highest ratings up your ass. I don't give a shit how many fucking people watched Monday Night Raw. That don't mean the show's good. It don't matter how highly rated that segment was. It was not good. It was not good at all. If you disagree, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You're the reason why the show is as shitty as it is. I dare this company to try this shit when fans come back in attendance. Because if they do, they are going to be torn apart. They will be ripped to shreds. The fans are going to tear them a new asshole. You want to know why the Thunderdome is still a thing? The Thunderdome is still a thing because Vince McMahon wants to control everything, even the things that he couldn't control. Now, he's got no choice. He's gonna have to deal with the harsh fucking reality of the fact that he's been putting on shit television for the last year and a half. As Karrion Kross says, TikTok, enjoy the last month that you have in the Thunderdome. White Castle Bruce Pritchard, and you old bastard Vince. Enjoy the last month that you have controlling the crowd reactions and controlling everything that goes on in the Thunderdome. Because as soon as live fans come back, you are going to be torn a new asshole. If you keep this shit up, if you keep doing voodoo, satanic, demonic rituals with Alexa Bliss, and this is just one fucking segment, you keep on doing this shit and all the other bullshit that you've been doing, you are done. You're looking at ratings below 1 million within the next year, if that's the case. Just watch. Just watch. I really don't. I don't even want to be here. One show, it's making me hate all of pro wrestling, I tell you. I hope Vince and Bruce Pritchard see that. Record that clip right now. Tweet it out on Twitter and send it out to everybody. Send it out to all types of WWE management right now. I want them to see that. Let's check the chat. Let's check the chat before we move on to NXT. And then we'll recuperate. We'll recuperate. I'm alright. Fucking sweaty as shit, but I'm okay. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Let's move on to NXT, shall we? NXT wasn't really all that special. We had some decent wrestling. We had a decent main event segment, but it really wasn't all that special. I expect TakeOver in Your House to be a very good show. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. NXT is just, it just has no wow factor to it. I'm sorry. And I'm telling you, I really honestly believe that Triple H has become just as lazy as Vince. So, Austin Theory versus Oney Lorcan kicked off the show. Decent little match right here. Crowd was chanting for Theory. I'd like to believe that that's going to help Theory in the long run. Gargano and Dunn came out. They actually got into a brawl. Theory mounted a comeback. But in the end, Oney Lorcan got the win with the half Nelson slam. I almost said half Nelson suplex, but it was a half Nelson slam. Half Nelson slam for the win. Oney Lorcan wins. Decent match. LA Knight. We got LA Knight. The man that's stealing my gimmick because I'm the one that goes DJ Storms. I'm watching you, LA Knight. LA Knight had a promo package hyping up his $1 million lifestyle. He's looking damn good, might I say. We had Doc Hendricks, a.k.a. Michael Hayes, doing a little promo for NXT TakeOver in Your House. Nice little nostalgia for anyone that likes the classic in your house. Legado del Fantasma were in the ring. Escobar said, Bronson Reed, I'm going to make you pay, before Reed came out and he said, after I squished you last week, I'll squish the fullness right out of you. I think that's what he said. I'll squish the fullness right out of you. Because he said he's full of himself. MSK came out with Reed. Escobar then challenged them to a winners take all match. And Reed accepted. All of a sudden, Hit Row's music then came out and they had a stare down with Legado del Fantasma and the champs. So, I like this. I really do like this. It definitely gives NXT TakeOver a bit more intrigue. The only thing I don't like is the fact that Legado del Fantasma have done nothing to deserve a title opportunity. I think it's going to be an excellent match, but they've done nothing to deserve a title opportunity. This is that laziness I'm talking about. Hit Row, though. I'm really liking Hit Row. Hit Row, they're doing some awesome shit. Isaiah Swerve Scott actually got the win over Killian Dane next. Decent little match right there. Hit Row, it looks like they could be building up Scott to take the North American title off of Bronson Reed, and they could be building up Top Dollar and Ashanti the Adonis to take the tag team titles off of the tag team champs at a later date, which I would not mind. I would not mind that at all. We got Cameron Grimes straight to the moon. Cameron Grimes was in his mansion drinking and smoking and swimming and he planned on taking the $1 million legacy straight to the moon. Obviously, typical Cameron Grimes shit right there. Mercedes Martinez, she was attacked by Xia Li before she fought off Xia Li and sent Xia over the barricade. Martinez then had her match. She won in 15 seconds. Very dominant fashion. So, Xia Li, you better bring your fucking A-game. You better bring your fucking A-game, because I'm telling you right now, if you don't bring your A-game tomorrow, you're going to get your ass kicked. You are getting your ass kicked by Mercedes Martinez. We had Poppy. Poppy, let me tell you something. Poppy's fine. Poppy is damn fine, I must say. She's damn fine. Poppy was talking to William Regal and Triple H. Dexter Lumis came in with a drawing of her. Poppy then hugged Dexter Lumis, and Indy Hartwell ran off crying. Triple H, he made this entire segment. He goes, it's a little awkward. Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase was in the ring. He introduced LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes! DiBiase said, "You will climb the ladder of success literally." And then down came a golden ladder. Looked very, very nice. So LA Knight called Grimes a hillbilly and a hilljack. Grimes goes, "Hilljack? I'm living on a hilltop." Grimes goes, "When Cameron Grimes is in between these ropes, when Cameron Grimes is in between these turnbuckles, when Cameron Grimes is in front of these people, Cameron Grimes cannot be beat. So take my money and take my fame, because I'm going to take that $1 million legacy straight to the moon." But Grimes goes, "Ted, I can't see what we're climbing for." Ted DiBiase then had some people bring in a briefcase. And DiBiase goes, "You will sacrifice every fiber of your being so you can have this." And it was the $1 million championship. Winner becomes the new $1 million champion. Very, very nice stuff. And I'm very much liking this program. And to think that Cameron Grimes was a heel redneck. But now you take a look at him, and Cameron Grimes has morphed himself into a top babyface, all because of a gimmick change and a program with Ted DiBiase. Good shit. Grizzled Young Veterans, they took on Ikeman Jiro and August Gray. Ciampa and Thatcher came out to watch. August Gray tried to pick up the pace, but GYV hit Ticket to Mayhem for the win. Gibson took the mic and he said, "We are done, but you keep lingering like a bad smell. You are two hooligans," he said. Ciampa goes, "You ain't getting no title shot until you go through us." Gibson goes, "You know what, next week, why don't we make this tornado rules?" Ciampa and Thatcher then ran after them. Thatcher said, "I'm going to enjoy breaking both of your limbs." So we got the match made for next week. I ain't complaining about that whatsoever. Candice LeRae came out. She goes, "I'm so sick of hearing about Poppy. You hijacked my interview. You hijacked Indy's man. And Indy is in tears because of you. So we can either do this the easy way or the hard way." Poppy then came out. She goes, "I don't wrestle, but I know someone who does." And then she introduced Io Shirai. So it looks like Io Shirai is back in action. She went after Candice, and her and Poppy stood tall. I like it. Io is back, but I don't see her lasting after SummerSlam. I think that we're going to see Io on the main roster, unfortunately, after SummerSlam. I don't want it, but I think that's where we're headed. I'm sorry. But looks like Io could be getting a rematch with Raquel Gonzalez. Speaking of Raquel Gonzalez, she watched the next match, which was Dakota Kai and Ember Moon. This was decent stuff right here before Raquel caused the DQ. Moon then hit a modified eclipse, a modified stunner on Gonzalez, and then a diving eclipse, And then she stood tall with the NXT Women's title. So it looks like we will be seeing Ember and Raquel tear the house down. And then afterwards, I can see Shotzi Blackheart and Io Shirai getting the next crack at Miss Gonzalez. William Regal. He was in the ring with Karrion Kross. Regal said this is not happening. Kross goes, "You don't run NXT. I'm not leaving." Kyle O'Reilly then came out and he called Kross the man with the thinnest skin. He says he knows it's a matter of time before I take that title. Gargano then came out. He was hyping up Kross to choke out Kyle O'Reilly. He did say he's not so graceful. Pete Dunne then interrupted and he goes, "I'm tired of waiting. I'm going to show all of you why I'm the baddest man in NXT." All of a sudden, Adam Cole came up on the screen and he says, "Kross, you're the biggest moron of them all. I verbally annihilated you, and I can see right through you. Maybe I'll beat Gargano or Dunne. Maybe I'll beat you and prove why your title reign has been one big disappointment." And then we got a big brawl. Kross was tossing around the security guards. Kross then stood tall over Dunne, Gargano, and O'Reilly before Adam Cole came out with a couple of super kicks and a last shot, and he stood tall with the NXT title. So I'm liking that. I'm really liking what they're doing here. I think TakeOver, regardless of whether or not NXT has been lackluster or not, I think that TakeOver is going to be a very good show. If they play their cards right, it could very well be the TakeOver of the year. And I absolutely see Karrion Kross walking out victorious. I don't see Adam Cole walking out victorious. Not a bad show, but there's just no energy behind it. There's no wow factor. There's no reason as to why I should care. There's nothing on NXT that says, "Hey, go out of your way to watch us. We're NXT." There's nothing. I'm sorry. Am I free in July? House of Entertainment. For the most part, yeah, I believe I am. Danielle, obviously, she loves Cameron Grimes. She wants to go to the moon with Cameron Grimes. Cool King, thank you for sticking by. Earl Cole, I hope that Earl Cole has a great evening. What do you say we get into NXT UK? NXT UK was pretty much a one-match show. It was a very good match, but it was pretty much a one-match show. So, NXT kicked off with Walter returning. And he says, "By now, I'm the longest reigning champion in the modern WWE. I'm here to remind everyone that my mission has not changed. I will forever be the NXT United Kingdom champion." Short and simple. I got no issue with it. Very, very nice stuff. And I do believe that based on what happened last week, if you watch last week, Ilya Dragunov and Rampage Brown and Joe Coffey, they all had a three-man face-off. So it looks like we could be getting a triple threat match, and then the winner of that match goes on to face Mr. Walter for the United Kingdom Championship, which I would not mind. Saxon Huxley took on Jordan Devlin. Devlin won with the Devlin side suplex. Really nothing all that crazy. We had Pretty Deadly, the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, joining the commentary booth for the next match. It was Dan Maloney and Andy Wilde versus Symbiosis. It was Andy Wilde and Dan Maloney taking on Primate and T-Bone. So Andy Wilde tried to mount a comeback to no avail. Symbiosis won with the Power Slam headbutt combo, and that was pretty much it. Sam Gradwell versus Wolfgang is coming up next week. Ginny and Joseph Connors versus Subculture, mixed tag team match. That's also next week. Should be interesting. But the main thing about this show was Meiko Satomura versus Kaylee Ray. This was for the NXT UK Women's Championship. So they went back and forth early on. Ray took over before Mako came back with a DDT. Ray with a Death Valley driver. Mako with a gory bomb to Kaylee Ray. So they were trading moves. They traded strikes back and forth. We had a cartwheel axe kick by Mako for a 2. We had a tornado DDT by Kaylee Ray for a 2. Mako stood back up after some super kicks by Kaylee Ray. Kaylee Ray with 3 super kicks. Mako came back with a Saito suplex. We had a Death Valley driver, but Ray kicked out. We had a super kick by Ray and a gory bomb and a swanton bomb, but Satomura kicked out. Kaylee Ray then took the title. She tried to leave. She then tried to hit Mako with it, but Mako with a Death Valley driver on the floor. Ray came back with a gory bomb on the apron, back and forth in the ring. Both women on the rope. We had a sunset flip powerbomb for a 2. Ray with a Koji clutch, but Mako fought out of it. We had a spinning heel kick, a Death Valley driver, and the Scorpio rising kick. Mako Satomura wins. Yes, Mako Satomura is the new NXT UK Women's Champion. A huge win for Mako Satomura. A shock win in my eyes, to be quite honest. Excellent match. Excellent match. I would even have to say that this match was better than their first match. Very shocked Mako actually won. But my guess is Mako's coming to the end of her career. Mako's coming to the end of her career. And Mako's already a made woman. Mako's already a made woman. And Eva Valkyrie is the woman that's going to really carry the brand, the women's division, when fans are back, if you know what I mean. Mako Satomura, she's pretty much an interim challenger, at least until the fans come back in the UK, right? So I see Mako holding the title until we get full fans back, and Eva Valkyrie is going to come back, and she's going to beat Mako Satomura for the championship. Where does Kaylee Ray go? I can see Kaylee Ray possibly going to NXT US. Simply because of the fact that Io is going to be going up soon, and Mercedes, her career is going to fucking die a miserable death on the main roster, being the bodyguard of Eva Marie. So NXT is going to need some more women to slide into that spot. I think Kaylee Ray is going to be that woman. Maybe Kaylee Ray goes up to the main roster. Who fucking knows? I don't know. But Kaylee Ray, I feel as though she's going to be moving on from NXT UK. She's bigger than NXT UK right now. But 649 days as NXT Women's Champion, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good for Miss Kaylee Ray. Mako Satomura, she's going to be the woman to lay down for Eva Valkyrie when the time is right. SmackDown. SmackDown, I don't want to say it was dog shit. I don't really want to say it was dog shit, but there's really nothing on SmackDown to really invest your time in. Outside of Roman Reigns, of course, there really isn't anything. I'm sorry. There really just isn't anything on SmackDown that's worth going out of your way. Reigns was talking to Jay. He was saying how I saved you last week. You owe me one. And I know you understand that, but does your brother know that? All of a sudden, the Usos' music hits, and Jey Uso comes out to the ring to address the crowd. He says, last week, supposed to be a celebration. We supposed to be 7-time tag team champions, but we got robbed. Ref blew the call, and then we got round 2, chance to redeem ourselves, and then here he comes, head of the table. You just had to make it all about you. And I feel like you got us disqualified on purpose. What's the point, Us? I know what your issue is. You jealous. You jealous because we want to represent the family too, and I want my brother back. I'm my brother's keeper, not you. And tonight I promise I'm going to do something that I won't regret. This was awesome stuff right here. And they really played this out throughout the entire show, which is a good thing and a bad thing. And I'm going to tell you how it's a bad thing in just a little bit. So Jey went to find Jimmy. Jimmy told him, I know you were mad when we got DQ'd. It can't be like this no more. You're my twin. Roman is disgracing the family. Jey goes, what do you want me to do? I'm stuck in the middle of this. Uso then goes, if Roman wants to see you, I'll be in our locker room. So Jimmy goes into their locker room. And Roman's got to go see him. So Jimmy's being defiant in the face of the tribal chief. I love it. I really like what they're doing right here. Jimmy's being defiant in the face of the tribal chief, but ultimately it's going to result in Jimmy falling in line just like his brother. Just watch. Big E, and Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, Mr. Conspiracy Theory, and Apollo Crews, the Nigerian Warrior, the Intercontinental Champion. I love Apollo Crews, I tell you. I love Apollo Crews. This was actually a very good tag team match. Probably the best match on the entire show. Probably the best thing on the show, outside of Roman. So, we had a big Uranagi by Big E for a 2. Crews with a German suplex for a 2. Big E missed the spear. Coming back from commercial, Big E was isolated before Owens got the hot tag. He lit up Sami Zayn. Nice cannonball and a swanton bomb for a 2. Zayn was the illegal man because Crews got the hot tag. Crews got the blind tag. We had a pop-up powerbomb, but Zayn saved it. Zayn made the tag. We had a half-and-half suplex for a 2. Zayn hit the Blue Thunder Bomb, but Owens still kicked out. Big E and Crews then were taken out of the ring. Owens hit the stunner on Zayn for the 1-2-3, and Owens wins. Very good tag team match. Crews then took the mic and he goes, you did not beat me. I was paired with this idiot, Sami Zayn. Next week, the two of you against me and my commander, Aziz. Zayn then took the mic and he goes, you're working with Kevin Owens, aren't you? Aziz then hit the Nigerian nail, and that was pretty much that. So, looks like it's going to be Commander Aziz and Apollo Crews versus Mr. Big E and Mr. Kevin Owens next week. Not really sure how Mr. Commander Aziz or Baba Tunde Dabakato, not sure how he's going to favor, but we'll see what happens, but I don't think it's going to favor too well. Roman and Jey, they were in Roman's locker room, and Roman says, go tell your brother that I'm coming to him. So, they're making Jimmy wait. Listen, I love what they're doing. I think this is great. The storyline here, I wasn't too keen on it, but they're really making this family storyline work. And I like what they're doing, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, they're not relying too much on Roman. They're relying too much on Roman. Nothing on the show feels important outside of what Roman Reigns is doing. I mean, I really don't know what to tell you. I love Roman Reigns, and I love what they're doing, but they're relying too much on him. You can't constantly push Roman Reigns and neglect everything else. It's not a good look. It's not. Liv Morgan versus Carmella. Liv Morgan wins with the rope rebound flatliner. Great. Rope rebound flatliner. Liv Morgan wins. 50-50 booking strikes again. It sucks. I guarantee you that one of these two is going to fight Bianca after Hell in a Cell, and then one of them is going to get released afterwards. Great. We had Ding Dong Hello with Seth Rollins. So Rollins came out. He says, I'm a huge fan. They replayed what Bayley did last week with Bianca. And they were both laughing and cackling. Ha 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 ha. Oh God, that's too good. Then they replayed what happened 3 weeks ago with Rollins' attack on Cesaro. And Rollins and Bayley cackled. Then all of a sudden the doorbell rang. Rollins then answered the door. And it's Cesaro. He's standing there with his arms crossed. And then he just jabs Rollins. He rips Rollins' pants off. He ripped Rollins' pants off, and then he ran off. Bayley was then trying to clean up, and then Bianca came out with a mic, and she laughed and cackled at Bayley. She laughed and cackled at Bayley. So let me get this straight. But first off, I will say this. The attack of Cesaro on Seth Rollins, I had no issue with. I had no issue with that whatsoever. The attack between Cesaro and Rollins was fine. That was fine. I had no issue with that. But Bayley, look, listen, I love Bayley, but I'm sorry. Ever since she lost the SmackDown Women's title to Sasha Banks, Bayley's been booked like a fucking nerd. I mean, she's been booked like a fucking nerd. Nothing about Bayley is cool anymore. And this feud between Bayley and Bianca, it's literally built on, what, laughter and cackling? That's what you're building a feud with two of the top women's wrestlers on the show? Are you fucking kidding me? This program has fucking sucked, and Bayley's been booked like a nerd. I'm sorry. Chad Gable versus Montez Ford. We had some back and forth technical wrestling. We had an ankle lock by Ford. Ford actually reversed it. Ford went flying off the apron, taking out Gable. Coming back from commercial, Gable was in control. Gable with a Northern Lights suplex for a 2. Otis was in the back. He attacked Angelo Dawkins. Ford then with a spine buster and a standing moonsault for a 2. Ford with a frog splash. Gable kicked out, and Otis caused a DQ. Otis then ran roughshod on Ford with a big body slam and a splash from the middle rope. Dawkins came out, and he took him out with another splash. So, here's what I will say. I'm actually liking this undercard feud between the Street Profits and Otis and Gable. Otis is playing a heel role very well, and so is Gable. So, if they want to, I wouldn't mind seeing Otis and Gable fight the Mysterios for the tag team titles sometime in July. I think that would be great. I think that would be awesome. So, this little program's rather enjoyable. Nakamura and Corbin. Again! It's the same fucking shit every single week. 4 times within a month. Same shit each and every single week. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. Nakamura rolled up King Corbin for the win. Corbin bounced Boogs over the announce table. Nakamura swiped the crown. Boogs then sent Corbin over the table. Same fucking shit over and over again. They trade wins back and forth. Corbin goes to get the crown. Nakamura gets the crown. Boogs and Nakamura stand. It's the same fucking shit. Boogs and Nakamura should be higher up on the card. Nakamura should be fighting for the world fucking title. Not involved with Burger King on crack Corbin. Roman Reigns. He then went to Jimmy's locker room. And he goes, I don't care about the Universal title. I watched you abuse Jay. This is Jimmy Uso talking. And when you go into the Hall of Fame, you ain't going to be going in as Roman Reigns. You're going to be going in as a spoiled bitch. Jay then walked off because he couldn't do it anymore. He was stressed. Jimmy then goes, you want to box right now? Let's go. Roman then goes, you think I want to fight? Why would you do that to your brother? We ain't little kids anymore. We bust our ass each and every single night to be the best. That's all I've ever known. Why would you do this to him? Go and make things right. So Jimmy then walked off camera. Roman then took the title, put it on his shoulder, and he was looking off into the distance in a very angrily stare. He was just like staring off into the distance very angrily. So you can clearly tell Roman is bullshitting Jimmy. Roman is bullshitting Jimmy to brainwash him, brainwash him into doing what Jay is doing. I like that. I really, really like that. Some good stuff. Rey Mysterio came out. He called out Roman. Roman ended up coming out, and Roman stood there as Rey goes, I acknowledge you, Roman. I acknowledge you for the rat bastard that you are. A rat bastard that put his hands on my son. I'm willing to fight even if I lose the fight. And I acknowledge you as a man I want to fight inside Hell in a Cell. Now it's your turn to acknowledge. Rey then took the kendo stick, beat Roman with it. Reigns then sent Roman to the floor, Reigns then sent Rey to the floor, hit a Superman punch. Dominic then ran out to the ring, and he hit Roman with the kendo stick, but Roman threw Dominic over the top rope to the floor. Camera angle looked great. Roman Reigns like a fucking savage. He didn't give a shit. Threw Dominic onto the concrete floor, and then Reigns booted Mysterio one last time, and he stood tall. Again, I really don't know why they're rushing through this match. It really doesn't make any sense to me. I really don't understand why you need to rush through this match in order to just get Roman through the pay-per-view. Roman doesn't need to defend the title on the pay-per-view. I already stated this. Doesn't make any sense to me. But that's what's going on. That is what is going on as we speak. One more show, and then we're going to get out of here. And then I'm actually going to celebrate my grandmother's birthday. Celebrate my grandmother's birthday after I get out of here. But we're going to go over one more show, and that's AEW Dynamite, which was actually a very, very, very good show. Dynamite was a very good show indeed. So, we had Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy kicking off the show with... We had Matt Hardy kicking off the show with Angelico and Jack Evans, the Hybrid 2. We had Matt Hardy saying, Christian Cage, you've always been jealous of me about how much money I've been making. Now my associate Angelico will end your career and you'll never financially recover from this. So, Christian Cage versus Angelico kicked off the show, which was a very good match. This is a very good match, actually. Angelico is very, very, very underrated. I actually like what Angelico can do. Angelico tried to wear down Christian Cage. He targeted the arms of Christian. Christian then with a reverse swinging DDT. He mounted a comeback with a missile dropkick and a diving headbutt for a 2. We had an inside cradle. Angelico kicked out. Angelico with a jackknife cover for a 2. Cage with a diving uppercut and the kill switch for the win. Very good match right here to kick off AEW Dynamite. Evans then caused a distraction as Matt Hardy came in with a twist of fate, and Jungle Boy chased off Big Money Matt. I don't know what's going on there, but it should be very, very interesting to see what happens. We got 4 shows for AEW. AEW has a month of special shows in July. We got Road Rager on July 7th. We got Fyter Fest Night 1 on July 14th. We got Fyter Fest Night 2 on July 21st. And we got Fight for the Fallen on July 28th. I like it. I like it for sure. So, Tony Schiavone announced that next week it will be Aaron Solo and QT Marshall versus Cody Rhodes and Brock Anderson, the son of Arn Anderson. We'll see how he favors. So Cody Rhodes and Arn Anderson and Brock Anderson came out. Cody then hyped up Brock Anderson before QT came out saying that he pinned Cody last week. He mocked Brock Anderson and saying that, when are we going to get enough of this second generation nepotism? So, Cody was then challenged to a South Beach strap match. And he took a cheap shot at Arn. Brock Anderson then took him down as referees tried to separate him. So it looks like QT is going to be the guy. QT is going to be the guy to send Cody away. I'm not sure how much I really care about that. I'm not really sure why we need to see all of this Nightmare Family Factory bullshit. But, you know, it is what it is, but I don't really like it. I really don't like it. It's not working out well, and it honestly brings the show down a little bit. But QT is going to be the guy to send Cody away to care for his newborn child. We got Pac, Eddie Kingston, and Penta El Cero Miedo versus Brandon Cutler and the Young Bucks. Heels were in control. Pac was isolated. We had a swinging DDT countered. Tag made to Kingston. He lit up the Bucks. Tag to Penta. We had a crossbody onto the Bucks. Casadora into the Destroyer on Matt Jackson. Looked fucking beautiful. We had Nick accidentally super kicking Cutler. Half Nelson driver, but Cutler saved it. Penta with a tope. 450 on Matt. Into a brutalizer. Looked great. We had double dives by Pac and Kingston. Kingston and Pac worked together, and Pac pinned Cutler for the win. I didn't expect much from this, but it turned out to be a very, very, very good match. I liked it for sure. Afterwards, the Bucks and the Good Brothers attacked before Frankie Kazarian then came out to even the odds, and we had the babyfaces standing tall. So next week, we're actually getting another six-man tag, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But this was actually a very good match. Very, very, very good match. I did not expect much from it, but it was very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The Pinnacle. Pinnacle was in the ring. FTR cut a great promo on Proud and Powerful. They accepted their challenge. Cash actually goes, I don't have a family, so I don't give a shit about yours. Really, really, really good stuff right there. Sammy was called out by Shawn Spears for being a glorified indie wrestler. Wardlow then said, Jake Hager, you're truly obsessed with me. You need me because I bring out the best in you. So you invited me into your world where you're comfortable. And when you stand across from me, you're always in Wardlow's world. He accepted. MJF then says, being the best, so young, that's pressure. I got nothing to prove to you, Chris, so your match request is denied. But Sammy, if you ever speak about me again, if you keep my name in your mouth, man, you got the same speaking skills as Helen Keller. So you best keep your mouth shut. So all of a sudden, Chris Jericho came up on the Titantron and he goes, you know what happens when you don't give the Inner Circle what they want? You could talk about how smart you are when you're walking home. All of a sudden, the Inner Circle was by the Pinnacle's limo. And they trashed the Pinnacle's limo. Hager came in with a forklift and just threw the limo over and pierced it with the forklift, which was great. That was pretty badass. Very, very entertaining. This is absolutely, in my eyes and in many people's eyes, this has been the best program on AEW, the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle. Very, very interested to see what they do throughout the course of the summer for sure. So, after that, we get Darby Allin. And Darby Allin actually accepted. He accepted Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page's challenge, but it's a handicap match. He said he's not replacing Sting, and he asked Sting to stay home. Sting goes, you were the TNT champion when I walked in the door. You are who you are because of you, not because of Sting. Darby goes, listen, it's got nothing to do with that. Please just stay home. And Sting obliged. He gave Darby the fist bump, and he's not coming next week. Very, very interesting. So, what if this could possibly lead to Sting turning on Darby? I don't know. It's going to be very, 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 very interesting for sure. So, Afterwards, we had Miro, the best man Miro, versus Evil Uno. This was for the TNT Championship. And Evil Uno, with a cannonball senton off the apron. Evil Uno is very, very underrated. Miro then countered a Saito suplex with a Saito suplex of his own. Coming back from commercial, Miro was in control before Evil Uno, who had a lot of support, by the way. Evil Uno was in full control of the crowd. The crowd loved him. Evil Uno came back with a Hurricane Rana, a big boot. Evil Uno with a Swanton bomb for a 1 count. Evil Uno then sent Miro into the exposed turnbuckle. Evil Uno just nearly won. We had a discus lariat, but Miro absorbed the impact, dropped Uno, and he hit the game over right in front of -1 and the Dark Order. And Evil Uno tapped out. Miro looked like a savage. Evil Uno is very underrated as well. He brought Miro to his best match of his TNT title reign thus far. Very, very, very good stuff. Kenny Omega and Don Callis then came out. Callis then called Jungle Boy a one-hit wonder. Omega then goes, I can't bring myself to say anything disparaging about you. I see a young Kenny Omega. Callis then was going to say, Jungle Boy doesn't have the guts. Before Jungle Boy came out, crowd singing his song. Omega was shit-talking. He gave Jungle Boy the mic. And he goes, you talk too much. Omega then tried for a cheap shot, but Jungle Boy took over. He went for the snare trap, but the Young Bucks came out to save Omega. Crowd was singing away. I cannot wait for this match. Jungle Boy is going to be elevated tenfold by Mr. Kenny Omega. Lance Archer. He fought a jobber. His name was Chandler Hopkins. Archer absolutely destroyed him. This was fun, but I'm telling you, I don't know where Archer goes. He's been the victim of way too many stop and start pushes to a point where I really don't see how he's going to fully recover from this. I just don't. Lance Archer, he's kind of just there right now. He's more of an attraction. So Layla Hirsch, she took on Nyla Rose. This was actually a decent match. Layla Hirsch is actually very, very fun to watch. Layla Hirsch is very, very good. Hirsch with a flurry of offense before Nyla Rose shut her down pretty quickly. Nyla with a ragdoll, slinging Hirsch into the barricade. Coming back from commercial, Hirsch mounted a comeback. We had a very nice slingshot off the ropes into a German suplex by Layla Hirsch to Nyla Rose. Very, very good stuff here. Bicycle knee strike and a leaping moonsault press. She didn't really get all of it, but it was decent. Layla then got a 2 count on that. Nyla was locked in the cross arm breaker. Nyla with a one-armed powerbomb. Nyla and Hirsch then went up to the top. Nyla countered a Hurricane Rana into a beast bomb for the 1, 2, 3. Decent match right here. Really, really, really good stuff from both women. And Nyla Rose, I got no issue with her being Britt Baker's first challenger. I think it's going to be a very, very good match because they had a very good match back at the Women's Eliminator Tournament back in February. She brought it up. She's the only woman to beat Britt Baker in the year 2021. Interesting story right there. Andrade El Idolo. He's having an exclusive interview next week. Matt Jackson and the Good Brothers are taking on Frankie Kazarian, Eddie Kingston, and Penta El Cero Miedo next week. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page are taking on Darby Allin. Cody and Brock Anderson are taking on QT and Aaron Solo. And then we got Cesar Bononi versus Orange Cassidy next week too. And the cage fight between Wardlow and Jake Hager. And then in the main event, we had a very fun main event between 10, Adam Page, Brian Cage, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Towards the end of this, they went for the same exact sequence that they did at Double or Nothing, where Starks threw Cage the FTW title, but Cage didn't use it. Starks then slapped Brian Cage, and Cage took a walk and went after Ricky Starks. So then in the ring, Hobbs was on the receiving end of a ripcord cutter and a buckshot lariat and 10, and Adam Page win the match. Adam Page, he's going to be built up quite nicely to take that title off of Omega sooner rather than later. Very, very, very good stuff right here. Very good show with AEW Dynamite as well. And ladies and gents, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. Of course, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Check out my email for collaborations and business inquiries as well. Check out the rundown for NXT TakeOver in Your House 2021. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you, Cool King. Thank you, Earl. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. Thank you, Cool King. I hope everything is well with you. I'm going to go get some nice Italian food, ladies and gents. I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update, and I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I'll see you live tweeting for NXT TakeOver in Your House tomorrow. Peace, ladies and gents. Woo!